In this episode, we will be discussing the Ourang Medan, a supposed ghost ship found with its entire crew dead and left in an eerie way. Did this ghost ship ever exist? Was its demise a product of Japanese nerve gas? Alien fire beams? Find out on this episode of the Tall Tale Happy Hour.
Welcome, people, to the Tall Tale Happy Hour, part 2.5. I'm your host, Tyron. Here with me, as always, is Brandon, as he is sometimes known.
Doing.
We had another episode recorded on Sunday. That was great. It was excellent. Very high-quality information. And we lost it. There was a massive noise suppressor on it, and it cut out pretty much all of my speaking. So... Alright, you ready to hear about what we're going to talk about today? After Brandon's near-death experience,
I just choked on some coffee. We've had to restart briefly. Everything is okay. I'm alive and well, so...
sadly. Yeah. Today we're going to be talking about a very, infamous event that occurred on a ghost ship.
A ghost ship, you say?
Yeah. The name of this ship is called the Ourang Medan.
Okay.
Okay, there is no information on this ship, at all. No one knows where it was built, when, what, how long, how big. Nothing. This event occurred in the 1940s sometime. Right. Now, there is a lot of controversy surrounding what happened because there are, 3 sources that actually talk about what happened. And no one knows if it actually really did happen.
So it's a myth?
Potentially. But this is what I've gotten on it. So the ship was supposedly registered in Sumatra, in Indonesia. And its name of Medan means in Indonesian, or Malay, which is an Indonesian language, person or man. No Ourang Medan found in shipping registers ever, but this is due to it being a Sumatran ship, apparently, like I just said. With Medan, again, being a Sumatran island. So this island could be called man or person.
Oh, okay. So you're saying that the ship was named after the island, potentially, which means man or person?
Yes.
Okay. Continue.
Now, apparently there's an old German publication that was named... I'm going to try and pronounce the German pronunciation. There is the pronunciation in English.
I can't even pronounce English, but go on.
The Das Tottenschiffen der Sudsee.
Are you sure that's German?
Well, it's had the Dach, the little sharp. Yeah. You know how... Yeah. Ach.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Gotcha.
Ach, fish. Anyway, so, or in English, this translate to the death ship in the South Seas.
Ooh, that's kind of eerie. I'm interested.
Anyway, so the story's first appearance was a series of 3 articles in a Dutch-Indonesian newspaper called De Locomotief, Sarah Handles in Advent and Blood.
What? Okay.
I don't know. Apparently that translates from Dutch to something. I didn't find it.
Okay.
The translation. I could have looked it up. I didn't. So, the name of the ship... was never found, but from what I could find, it was called the Silver Sky. It was an American vessel.
Okay.
Basically, these articles talk about the encounter being described as 400 nautical miles, or about 740 kilometers, or 460 miles southeast of the Marshall Islands. Yeah. Now, the second and third of these articles describe the experiences of a sole survivor was found by an Italian missionary who natives on... cannot pronounce names. Tiongi Atoll in the Marshall Islands. Apparently this guy, before dying, basically told the missionary that the ship was carrying a badly stowed cargo of oil of vitriol. And most of the crew perished because of poisonous fumes escaping from broken containers. According to the story, the Ourang Medan was sailing from an unknown small Chinese port to Costa Rica and deliberately avoided the authorities. Now, I haven't got into the event yet because the event is very, like, no one knows how true stuff is.
Mm-hmm.
So apparently the survivor, who was an unnamed German fella, died directly after telling this story.
Interesting. So, was he a crew member or?
Apparently he was a survivor.
Right.
Anyway, basically all these sources, basically, like, this is it. This is all the information we got on it.
Okay.
Apparently there's one guy talking to about it. Yeah, this is exactly what they wrote as a disclaimer, which this is the last part of our story about the mystery of the Ourang Medan. We must repeat that we do not have any other data on this mystery of the sea, nor can we answer the many unanswered questions in this story. It may seem obvious that this is a thrilling romance of the sea. On the other hand, the author, Silvio Shirley, assures us of the authenticity of the story. But it's getting spooky already.
Yeah. Authenticity. Interesting. So someone's claiming that it's true.
Yes. Anyway, so, are you ready to hear the event? Oh, actually, I'm going to ask you something real fast.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, based off just this limited amount of information,
Yep.
what do you think it's going to be about?
So I've gathered there's a ship, right? Obviously, there's a ship involved in some degree. Um, I don't know. I think it's got to be some sort of like cursed ship that just seems to kill its crew, much like the Mary Celeste future episode. Never. That's the episode that we just did that got completely wiped. But yeah, I think it's some sort of cursed ship that kills its crew. Someone managed to get away, tell the story, and you said they died shortly after.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm thinking paranormal, thinking curses, not so much aliens.
Let's move into the story.
Let's
Shall
delve
we?
deep. Let's delve.
Anyway, it is very vague. There is not much information on this actual event, which is good because you can really, like, nail down the events. Unlike, again, the previous episode that will never come out, where there was so much information on.
Yeah, so many stories and theories.
Anyway, let's move along. The story states that sometime in the 1940s, two American ships sailing in the seas of Malacca, which is in between the Malay Peninsula and Sumatra, so Indonesia, received numerous concerning distress signals from the Ourang Medan. I'm just going to call it the Orangutan Medan.
Sweet.
According to the story, an unknown individual sent this message in Morse code. Now, I've got the message.
Did you decipher this Morse code yourself?
I should have. I didn't. It was translated for me.
Okay,
Anyway.
hit it.
SOS from the Orangutan Medan. We float. All officers, including the captain, dead in chart room and on the bridge. Probably whole of crew dead. Followed by some silence, then the final message being, I die. Before all the communication was lost with the ship.
That's fucking terrifying. Are you kidding me?
I know. Imagine the last words you hear from this ship being, I die.
That chills. What?
Yeah.
And that was a verified message sent out by Morse code.
Yep, apparently that's the message.
The message the American ship received?
Yep.
That's terrifying, man. That's real creepy.
Mm.
What else you got?
One of the American vessels, named the Silver Sky, later located and boarded the ship, which was apparently completely undamaged. But on board this vessel, the ship was littered with corpses, including the ship's dog, with the dead bodies found sprawled on their backs, the frozen and allegedly badly frightened faces of the deceased upward turned to the sun above, with the mouths gaping open and eyes staring directly into the sun, with the corpses resembling horrible caricatures.
So like in Harry Potter when they get petrified and they look into the basilisk. They're all just frozen.
Yep.
That's fucking creepy, man. That's very scary.
No survivors were ever found on board, and none of the bodies showed signs of obvious injury.
Again, with the weird sort of no obvious injury, no blood. Was there any blood?
Nothing. Apparently, all the
Ah,
bodies were completely fine. They were just like they'd seen some ancient deity, like a Cthulhu type thing.
like Medusa.
Yeah.
Wow, creepy.
But just imagine seeing a boat littered with people all facing the same direction, all with badly frightened faces and like their body all contorted in weird ways.
Wow,
Pretty scary.
really terrifying.
Anyway,
I don't know what to think.
So anyway, as the Silver Sky was preparing to tow the vessel to a nearby port, the Ourang Medan apparently caught fire in its cargo hold, forcing the crew of the Silver Sky off the vessel, where apparently the crew later witnessed the ship explode and then sink to the sea's depths.
Oh wow. Were they carrying any denatured alcohol by any chance?
Do you want to move straight on to theories, or do you want to discuss a little bit?
Oh, let's discuss. Let's digress.
This podcast is sponsored by cryptidcontrol.com. Do you ever participate in late night grave robbing? Can you feel something watching you from afar on those 3 a.m. forest walks? Presenting the Wendigo, the latest in a vast market of cryptid repellent from the makers of the Wall Scanner 2.0. With the Wendigo repellent, you can turn the lights off downstairs and happily walk to your bedroom with no fear of that pesky Wendigo lurking on your rooftop. As per FDA rules and regulation, we must mention that the Wendigo repellent, in some cases, causes severe attraction of Wendigos when combined with substances such as water, blood, sweat, and oxygen. The good folks over at cryptidcontrol.com have offered listeners of this podcast a first-time buyer discount of 6% using code IForfeitAllLiability of cryptidcontrol.com. That's code IForfeitAllLiability of cryptidcontrol.com.
Remote viewing can be difficult to achieve at times. That's why the staticspy.com has spent the past 12 years developing the Easy Viewer Mind and Body supplement. Derived from natural ingredients such as ashwagandha, DMT, psilocybin, and a sprinkle of black tar heroin. Is your partner cheating on you while you're hunting the Wendigo? Is your home security system unreliable when you need it the most? The Easy Viewer Mind and Body supplement is here for you. Just take one tablet with 30 ml of adrenochrome and manifest your remote viewing destination within minutes. Side effects may include the ability to see God, leprosy, possession by interdimensional beings, and severe constipation. TheStaticSpy.com is offering a discount of 20% on your first 3 months of Easy Viewer for listeners of this podcast. Visit TheStaticSpy.com.
I don't know about you, but this might be like the most terrifying thing I've ever heard. Imagine hearing I die, finding the vessel, and then finding everyone face up to the sun dead.
So are we certain that the person who sent out the Morse code did die?
No one knows. They didn't find any survivors.
Was there any logs or anything that could have indicated how many crew members were on board? How many
Nothing.
bodies were found?
There is no information. There is very little actual information on this story, unlike
info
the Mary Celeste.
on the ship or anything? No, where it came from? Apart from
Nothing.
Somalia, where it was built? Wow. I don't know.
No one knows.
I think all my theories would be absolutely crazy. I mean, you could always say aliens, but I don't know. This freaks me out a bit. What could cause something like that? What do you think?
I can go on to the theories.
Yeah, let's go.
Now, I just copy and pasted these off Wikipedia because it just wrote it better than I could. And I did confirm a lot of these with another source that is probably just as not as trustworthy as you.
As me?
It's just as not as trustworthy as Wikipedia.
Yeah, I gotcha. You know what? Steer us into it.
Anyway, so a man named Bainton. I don't know who that is. There's no name on who he is.
Just singular, like Cher, or
just Bainton.
Bainton, like Sia? Bainton.
Yeah.
Wait, what's
Yeah.
Bainton got to say?
They hypothesized that the Ourang Medan might have been involved in smuggling operations of chemical substances such as a combination of potassium cyanide and nitroglycerin, or even wartime stocks of nerve agents. According to these theories, seawater would have entered the ship's hold, reacting with the cargo to release toxic gases, which would then cause the crew to succumb to asphyxia and or poisoning. Later, the seawater would have reacted with the nitroglycerin, causing the reported fire and explosion.
Now, what time was this? What era? What year roughly? The 40s, you say?
In the 1940s, so around World War Two.
Yeah, that was when shit started ramping up with bioweapons, right? All these
Yep.
crazy experiments and stuff. I could definitely see that, but yeah, I don't know, that's still a bit perfect storm of events, right? Especially since no one exactly knew what they were carrying. There's so little details on what the ship was. So why
Yeah,
would they know what it was carrying?
they don't. This is
Yeah,
why they're just hypothesizing different things.
of course, I guess.
Anyway, so another theory that the ship was transporting nerve gas, which the Japanese military had been storing in China during the war, and was handed over to the US military at the end of the war. No
Hmm.
US ship could transport it as it would leave a paper trail. It was therefore loaded onto a non-registered ship for transport to the US or an island in the Pacific.
Right. Yeah, so again, with that unknown cargo theory, this is all plausible, I guess.
Yeah, like some of this does make sense, but
Yeah, of
it seems
course.
like a perfect storm. That second theory sounds a lot more plausible than the first one, in my mind at least.
Yeah, no, I agree.
It makes sense because there's no record of this ship ever existing, so it could have been like a burner.
Yeah.
No one knows who the captain or the crew was. Again,
Right. Yeah,
maybe that was intentional.
yeah, that makes sense. It doesn't exist, therefore, like, they probably scraped the records or something. Yeah, or flew under the radar with an unknown ship, like you said. That definitely makes sense.
We move on to the second theory
Yeah.
of carbon monoxide poisoning.
Sweet. I almost got carbon monoxide poisoning once.
Really?
Yeah, faulty heater.
Oh my god, you're so
Yeah.
lucky to be alive.
Not fun, man. Not fun. Yeah.
Jesus.
We had to get someone to check our heater and there was a leak. And they're like, hey, if you left it for any longer, could have gotten worse. And I'm like, yeah, I know.
And you start seeing ants and such shit that aren't there.
Yeah, start getting sleep paralysis demons. You know?
See the ghost, tell everyone that the ghost in your closet really does exist.
Yeah, the people in my walls, you know? They're still there anyways. Continue.
Anyway, so carbon monoxide poisoning. A man named Gaddis. No information on who Gaddis is.
Gaddis and Bontus, what's the other one?
They
Barrington and Gaddis. I bet it's the same fucking guy. He's just mixing up his pseudonyms or whatever they call them.
Gaddis puts forward the theory that an undetected smouldering fire or malfunction in the ship's boiler system may have been responsible for the shipwreck. Escaping carbon monoxide would have caused the deaths of all aboard, with the fire slowly spreading out of control, leading to the vessel's ultimate destruction. Again, you can't say no.
You can't. You can't say yes. Were there any? See, we know from the lack of information there weren't any noticeable signs of fire damage to the boat. Oh, but then
Boat
again,
sank.
it did engorge in flames, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. It
Yeah,
sank to the
but-
bottom of the ocean.
Weren't they able to get on board though before that happened?
Yes.
Yeah. How big was the
Surely
boat?
you would have noticed it. No information. There's nothing.
Hey, you know what? I'm starting to think this boat wasn't real. I'm starting to think this is a scam.
That's definitely a possibility.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on to some of the theories I like.
Okay.
Aliens. Of course it's
Oh,
fucking
of
aliens.
course. It's always
How could it
aliens.
not be aliens? Or I wrote unknown phantom creature. Now, I didn't
Phantom.
research any of this. I'm just going to go based off what I think.
Okay.
Cthulhu did it.
Hulu did it easy. I believe that 100%.
Now, do you know anything about Cthulhu?
Um, I
There's
know,
some Cthulhu lore.
I know what he looks like. I know he's like an octopus man
Yeah.
with a tentacle mouth.
Okay. So, in Cthulhu mythos, apparently, if you see him, the second you see him, you immediately lose your mind and try to kill yourself the fastest way possible.
Mmm.
Like you go batshit insane the second you see him because your mind just can't comprehend what it is in front of you.
Right.
Kind of like a Bird Box type thing.
Okay. Yep. That's a cool movie, by the way. I like that movie.
That would explain why all the bodies are upturned to the sun with mouths gaping open, and eyes staring straight ahead. They've all seen this one creature and they've all just gone, yeah, now we're out.
Maybe they've
Drop
dropped dead
dead.
of a heart attack. But I could also sort of like say yeah, nah to that because if these guys are transporting dangerous chemicals for governments and armies in the 40s, don't you think they'd be armed at least with handguns?
What are you going to do against a giant fucking octopus thing
No,
that
but
as soon as you
if
see it, you die?
yeah, but if you're trying to find the quickest way of death, don't you think you'd just take your gun and shoot yourself? Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I wish I could ask them.
Be handy.
Yeah.
Second story. Second theory.
Mm,
Pirates. I don't believe it's pirates.
yeah. I don't think pirates have anything with those capabilities.
So,
I mean, who
this.
knows? Who knows though? Did you see the Somali pirates? They've got GoFundMe's now. They've got Kickstarters. You can
We can
fund.
invest in there.
Yeah, you can fund a Somali heist over like GoFundMe.
So funny.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Business opportunities, I guess. New side hustle.
What? Smiley pirates.
I don't know how much money you could make off Somali pirate raids. Someone's got to be getting a return, don't you think?
And yeah, I guess one of the pirates has to be. They'd be profiting something at least.
God, modern pirates.
Anyway, this
Not as
is.
cool. Continue, sorry.
I know you're right.
Yeah,
This next theory is something I like,
I like what you like.
and
Hit me with it.
I'm gonna say murder for cargo. Now, hear me out. I'm gonna go full detective and give you what I think happened.
Okay.
These guys that spotted the ship were two American ships that could have been. This ship could have potentially been carrying Japanese nerve gas.
Yes.
These are two American ships. America obviously fucked up Japan during World War II.
Yeah. They weren't the best of friends, to say the least. No.
Oh, I know that. Okay. Anyway, it doesn't match one of the theories, but I'm just going to go along with it. These guys apparently said these two ships have been like, yo, I want what's on this ship.
Hmm.
They go to the ship, they kill everyone aboard, make up a story that seems like it was from they've come aboard and they'd be like, oh my god, what's happened? These guys all look like they've seen Devil himself.
Mm-hmm.
They take all the cargo, they burn the ship, and get out of there.
Yeah, these are again a throwback to our lost episode detailing the Mary Celeste, another ghost ship sort of incident. People could just be making up stories to try and cover their bad deeds, I guess you could say.
Especially with something as vague as like potential ship.
It's very vague, super vague. I could see that happening 100%.
It just, yeah, it's just some of it doesn't line up unless you obviously believe in supernatural, because it is 99% of the time it's always aliens, regardless.
I mean, you're not wrong and you're not right. So
Okay, hear me out.
You-
This is my other theory of what happened.
yeah. Yeah.
The reason why this crew were looking up at the sun is because they saw a spaceship. Now, what this spaceship did to them all is freeze them and defrost them and then shoot little Superman lasers into their brain.
Yeah.
It killed them all.
Entirely plausible.
Just before the ship went, the aliens went, they went, oh no, we're about to get caught by another American ship. They fly up as high as they can go. They're like, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? We're going to get caught. We're going to get caught. Like, and the big boss man comes out and he's like, don't worry. Pats one guy on the shoulder, or one alien on the shoulder, and goes, I've got this. Shoots a fire beam down to the ship. Bang. Ship catches fire. And he's like, don't worry. When we killed all these people, I put explosives in the bottom of the ship. Bang. Ship blows up.
We've cleared this up. We've got away with it.
They're like, off my hands. Let's go to like Mars or something.
Yeah,
and
let's
they
go.
Fly off.
Let's go to a fucking moon and just chill for a minute.
Yeah.
Just breeze over, discuss what just happened.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I mean, like I said, you can't be wrong, you can't be right. So
Fun fact is, never been wrong once in my time.
No, we're sure of this.
That's literally where it ends. There is not much else on this story, which is a shame because it's really kind of creepy if it's true.
So where do you lie with this? What are you thinking?
Besides the alien theory, I don't think this ship exists.
Mm.
There's too little information to prove it.
Yeah.
It'd be cool if you could track down whether the American vessels existed, like the Silver Sky, and there was another one. If they did exist, that might lead to more evidence, but there's no mention of those ships' captains' names. There's no mention of anything.
You didn't find any information on the Silver Sky?
Couldn't find anything.
I reckon
the unsecured. Sorry.
Oh no, you go. I'll go after you.
I was just gonna say the unsecured cargo makes sense. Like
Yeah.
I can logically see that happening around that time period.
That's pretty much where I'm at. I think that it really does make sense from that point of view, especially during wartime in the 40s. Some nerve gas, either it went bad, it went wrong, or the Americans interfered, made up some tall tale happy hour podcast on all your major streaming services about it going wrong and stealing the cargo, or just interfering to be assholes. Yeah,
to be America.
Yeah, just to be America. Pretty much, I can see that happening. Yep.
And for the obvious answer, aliens.
Yeah,
of course it's aliens.
Yep, aliens.
You never not aliens.
Always aliens. If you don't believe in them, or you don't believe us, or you don't agree with us,
you're wrong.
You're wrong. Yeah.
It's always aliens. Okay. 99% of the time, 100% of the time, it's aliens.
Alright, you got anything else to add to, what's the ship's name? The Ourang Medan?
The Ourang Medan. Medan. But, fun fact, this story influenced the game Man of Medan.
I've never heard of that game.
It's like, did you ever play old Final Light? No.
Is it the guy with the yellow... Oh, no. Like a life jacket on? Cold Fear or something like that? No. Hold on, let's have a quick Google break. Let me Google this.
I'm sending you the logo.
I'll cut this out.
Oh, you don't have to, it's alright. Yeah, sick. Thanks. How is a picture too large of a file? Like one of those story-based games where Until Dawn, that was the
Oh, Until Dawn with Rami Malek? Yeah, the guy who played Freddie Mercury.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I never played that.
It's a game like that.
Yeah, one of those like story-driven. Like the
Yeah.
Walking
More
Dead
almost.
game.
Yeah, almost point and click.
Yeah, like Telltale games. Nah, I never played that. Was it good?
I mean, a lot of people on YouTube played it.
I don't know.
Anyway, I guess that's it. Thank you everyone for listening. We're sorry we couldn't bring you a longer episode this week. Like we said, corrupt files and
We'll
government
yeah,
stopped us from putting out the last video.
we'll talk to the agencies. The what are they called? The ones that watch over everyone? Something like that. And I don't know. We'll talk to them, we'll see if they can give us the files back, get it up to you guys soon. But yeah, thanks for watching. You wanna take us out, Tyron?
Uh, Thank you everyone for listening. Be sure to stay alert of like our Patreon and stuff. That'll be coming pretty soon because we need funds to continue this.
Need money to fund our side hustles that inevitably fail.
Yeah, we just lose all the money anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But we're also going to end up chucking up like we said, those lost clips, and just other bits and pieces. Podcasts will be coming early on them.
100%.
As soon as we can figure out dates that we actually want to release the podcast on, because we're still fairly new.
Yep.
All ads are satire, just so you know, and you're not freaking out. It's all right.
There is no such thing as the Wendigo, I can assure you.
Or is there? Stay tuned for next week, people. Peace out.